I've played over 100 hours of Corepunk, and I've completed the early game experience no fewer than 10 times. I've become very familiar with how to get the most out of the early game, how to do it quickly and efficiently without sacrificing any enjoyment of the game. The game is only in alpha right now, so things could easily change. This means that if you're subscribed to my channel already, you'll be notified of any significant and important changes in the future. And before we begin, if you like the look of the game and want to try this out for yourself, you'll be able to join the Alpha 4 test, providing you pre-ordered the game, so check the link in the description for details on dates, prices, and the flexible fair refund policy. Okay, let's jump in.
So the first thing that we do when we land in the game is we visit this guy here.
Another newcomer. Well, at least your hat hasn't blown up yet. A good sign already.
And now let's grab this quest, Brave New World. Welcome to Kolat.
Yes. You try this. You're going to be registered just like every other apple. That's why I'm here. I'm an apple. You study. There is some spare fools on my ass. Let me take myself. Get going fine. I do it. No, you look tight. You're going to buy. I'll do it. So, do get fine. I'll take some. Remember, don't even think about my girlfriend. Next.
Right, so we've got the initial quest and we need to head up here. So what I'll probably do is I'll skip through the dialogue just so as not to ruin anything for people. But we'll have a good look at how to get through this first initial stage of the game. Now, do bear in mind that this is an alpha. So this is alpha 3, so things may have changed, but in the last 4 or so tests that have been in, things have been roughly similar. Like the core of the game has been the same, at least this first part of it anyway. So let's speak with Maxwell.
Here for some survival tips?
This is the icon we need to be looking for quests.
What can I do for you?
So let's just skip through this. What this guy is basically asking for is go find wood. So this is the icon to accept that quest.
I'll do it. Try not to go on, fetch the wood.
So all we need to do for this quest is literally come to this pile here, search this with right click, gives us some wood, quest completed, and now we come back to Maxwell.
You from the portal?
Question mark to hand it in.
Don't forget, 3 pieces, not 2,
these are all the rewards we get.
3. Yes.
So hit yes,
well, look here's how to
cross,
make a campfire.
And close this. Now if we come into our inventory, now we can see here. This is the returner item. This is like the equivalent of the Hearthstone in World of Warcraft. It's got a 30-minute cooldown. So you've got matches, fire, food, and a recipe for a campfire. So I'm going to right click on this to learn this straight away. And then close this. Now, one thing that I find really frustrating about this game so far is that there's no indication that this guy has another quest. But when we right click on him again, we can see that he has another quest for us. So it's always really important to right click on these guys again after you've handed in a quest to find out if they have more quests.
What can I do? Got a job for you. It's not glamorous, but numbers down. All right, moving on to the next lesson. Don't let anything crucial catch your attention, especially the next 3 force. We're not eating by 5 kills with a special sword effect. It feels strong, fresher, and braver.
So basically this guy is saying that we need to go and find Heartwood from magical trees in the forest. And we can see here these are the rewards similar to the last one, except in this case we'll be able to select a reward at the end of it in addition to these. So let's accept this. So the thing that you need to bear in mind with this quest is that if you immediately start looking for that Heartwood, you're going to spend hours looking for it and you're going to get really frustrated. So we're going to put this quest in the back pocket and we're not going to think about it for now. We're going to do that one later because this area around here is not the greatest for those magical trees and the area isn't level appropriate, so we'll forget about that for the time being.
Can you hear me?
So when we come to the house, which is just up the road here, we'll find the forms on the table just there. It drops it, you need to pick it up, quest completed. So we can run into the house and just check this fridge just in case. So there we go. I got some ribs in this case. It doesn't always happen, but it's always fun to go in houses and just check check the interactable objects just to see if there's anything in there. So this is quite a lucrative one, getting the ribs and 1 gold, which doesn't sound like a lot, but it's actually pretty decent. Now, what we want to be doing is heading up this path up here to the town, but we're actually just going to come across and speak to this little goblin here,
Hello there.
because she has a quest for us.
Guy with a hand.
Why aren't you? You know, like around here, hoops, but sometimes it's all work with flowers, times on use extra hands. Don't like around ones on some stuff that burns clean. It's that blue stuff you green people, some more plus just think of adventure. You do like adventure, don't you?
I do it.
So this one
Don't forget that mana
is giving us a quest to get some mana vials. Again, this is not something that you need to be worried about right now. It's just something that you will do over time. Now, the reason that I just grabbed that is because I want some wheat seeds, because we're going to need these shortly. But let's continue on up the path. That was like an actual instructional tip there. It's basically telling you need to eat to survive. This is why we're getting this wheat, basically. It's because we need to use it to make bread. I'm going to grab onions as well. A lot of the stuff is clutter, or it seems like it, but you can find a use for it, and onions I find are a good one. Okay, so Zoltar, let's go speak to this guy because he has another quest for
You
us.
have a job for me.
You bet you can. You see rats around I'm sitting. So we got to take some rats down. You get an idea of what we're dealing with.
So this guy is going to give us these rewards, and we're going to be able to select an actual useful item when we've done this.
I'll do it.
Great. Let's show these rats we mean business.
So
Good to see you.
if you were lucky enough to get some gold, like I did, you could buy a couple of wheat seeds. You only need 3. I'm not going to waste money on those though, just because we'll be able to find what we're looking for like really easily. And always check these containers because there's stuff that you're going to need from them. So what we can do is we can run into this field here, and a lot of the neighbouring fields have the same, but we should be able to find some rats hopefully. There we go, mutant rat, here we go. There's one. So we'll pick that one up. Ah. And there's another one. So we're going to need a total of 5 of these. So we can see how my health is on 50% here. So what we can do is we can come into the inventory and we can take the campfires and we can put those on this slot here on the F1. And we can take the food and we can put that on F2. So put the campfire down and then we can sit at the campfire. And the health will go up naturally. It won't go up unless you're either eating food or sitting at a campfire. And if you combine the two, you will get an increased efficiency from the food. So we can see here that the food efficiency is increased by 50%. Generally speaking, unless you're in an incredible rush, you don't need to use fire and food at the same time. It does reduce the amount of time that you're waiting between moving on. But if you want to be efficient with your resources, then you can just do one or the other. So we have a chest here as well. And we don't get all these on every camp, and for some reason it's not letting me loot this one, but it's probably because I delayed a little bit. But if you search these after you've killed the camps, then you should be good to get a few like extra items. So now I've got enough wheat seeds for what I'm going to need shortly. sadly only one tail in that spawn. So there we go, blueberries, bread, and a mushroom.
All right, let's dance.
And there we go, that completes the quest for us. So let's go on back and get our hand in. Chest seems to be a little bugged at the moment, sadly, but never mind. I'm sure they'll fix that. I hope they'll fix that. Okay, so we hit this icon.
It's not just about killing rats.
So we get experience, gold,
securing
wheat
our
seeds,
future.
bread, and this is a damage boost. And we will take... So we have a choice between heal and shield power. I don't think that's appropriate for this particular character. Probably maybe like the bomber and other future classes. Or maybe the shaman. Magic circle, casters. So we'll go with the attack power one in this instance. And we are a champion male. So we can only choose this one. So we'll grab that.
Yes.
You really did it. The rats got
So you
what
can
they
equip
deserve.
this.
I have a ticky 6.
And this is purely cosmetic. There's nothing more to it. It's literally just cosmetic. There are some really nice items in this game that you can get to wear. But those are later in the game, of course. So what we'll do as well is we'll equip this steroid implant. And we'll carry on making our way to the town. Okay, so one thing to note about navigation. So I jumped over this fence just a second ago, and I watched this. So if I wanted to jump over this fence, if I just clicked there, it wouldn't walk towards it, you see. And it's difficult to jump and click. So what you need to do is you actually need to hold down your right click to move in the direction, and it will move towards, as opposed to single clicking and having it pathing around. And so then you can just hit spacebar to jump over objects. So we speak to this guy, this Grizz Tanner. He's got a quest for us.
Got his eye. Now get in your hand. This guy, he's not exactly throwing his coin.
I'll do it.
So basically what this quest is asking is he's asking that we bring something similar to this. It's a different type of implant. It's one that gives you health. It's immunostimulating implant it's called, and it gives you plus 100 health. But what he's asking for specifically is asking for one that is a green coloured one. So this is common. He wants uncommon, and it's not something that you could get right now. So you basically take that quest, you ignore it, and then once it's completed, you go turn it in. Now you've noticed that my health isn't increasing naturally because currently we have 0 health regeneration. So when you come to this crossroads, you want to go straight up ahead, because this is where we find Zug.
Oh, what is it?
And we can see there this is the main story quest because it's got these kind of like wings.
What
That is. Kind of busy with
Sorry you had to go through that. My
So we hand in the newcomer form, get 40 experience,
He's asking every newcomer
and that'll level us
to
up.
take his shift at the portal. So you're an...
Now, that's right here. Yes. You think, right? Everyone's just minding their business. Anyways, can you ship me right now? We have enough use for this running around here already. In fact, why don't you go to him? Hey, come on, this well thinking. Get yourself a hand down.
Maybe...
So basically now this guy's pointing us in the direction of Big Mama. But we'll just have a quick look around this house here. There we go. 2.74 gold. Rummage through here. Nothing in there. Let's turn the telly on for no reason. There we go. Right, so what we'll do is we'll come back down here. Just because we want to just come into this one. Have a look. There we get some corn. We're going to need some corn soon. Check this bookcase. Got some more gold. Check this.
Steps are.
Just hover your mouse over here and a bottle of whiskey. That's useful. We're going to need one of those. So we're going to come down here. And this is kind of like a central hub for players because we have the campfire just here. Now this here is Big Mama.
Howdy, partner. Hey, there's sugar. Come on down, my kitchen. We take care of it, okay?
Yes.
So don't you go over here, call that thing, right? Oh, it's off trouble. Now, these newcomers just get several honey. I'm too busy cooking for everything. How about you and cook some bread, huh? Now, you bring me some wheat flour, which you can make yourself 3 handfuls of wheat seeds. I'll add a little bit of my spice to the
Recipe.
Right, so there we go. This is why we were collecting the wheat seeds, because we get to do this. So we accept the quest.
Oh, now bring me some. You can process.
Then all we do is we click on the kitchen. Wheat flour, we can make 6 wheat flour, so let's make all 6. We of course don't need as much as 6. That's not what the quest was after. We only needed the 1. But it's always good to get cooking because every time you cook something you get 2 XP and this goes up and then you get a higher level of a higher cooking rank, so you can cook more stuff. So we'll go into Journeyman for the tier 2 and then Craftsman for tier 3. Right, so there we go. So let's come across to
Oh, you found
Big
the
Mama.
spice, sugar. Now don't
There we
forget
go.
that wheat flour, hun. We can't bake bread with that.
Yes.
Well, I'll be a monkey's uncle. You did it. Well, here's your reward. You took the $1 over here. Run to the there's one jack and line around the gas station. Now, Mr. Conbank, and they will shop a couple of weapons crafters.
So this is a really interesting quest because it gives you resources as rewards. So we're not obviously not going to select these now because we need to complete the quest, but I'd probably say that the iron would be a good pick. The large bones would be a good pick. 100% xiphoid process, without a doubt, that one. And then finally, I'd probably say a toss-up between meteoric metal and animal fat, but I'd probably be inclined to go meteoric metal. So we're going to accept that quest.
The list really goes
And basically what she's saying is we need to go to different NPCs and do quests for them, and they'll have notes of thanks. So a quick little rummage in the fridge just in case there's anything there. Blasteroid shot, that's good. Now this guy here, this patio lantern, he's after something.
Need help?
You know what? That's unfortunate.
So basically what this guy is asking for is he wants a bottle of whiskey, and coincidentally we just found a bottle of whiskey.
Don't forget the whiskey.
So we just need to interact with him again,
You know what goes
and we'll
great?
take our reward.
Ah, that's the stuff.
You're a true friend. We're going to do.
I don't.
Always check, see if he's got more quests. This one does not have more
I make
quests.
my own.
Now I just want to highlight something really important right now. I was monumentally lucky to get that bottle of whiskey. Some players take a long time to get the bottle of whiskey. It's completely random. It's absolutely RNG. You will gather a stack over time, but don't expect to be rushing and getting that quest done as quickly as I just did it there. That was really lucky to get that. Okay, so what we want to do now is we want to come out of this fire area and we're going to come down just straight over here to this field with these different flowers. We want to
Ready to be of service for now.
speak to this guy here.
Need help?
Official. If someone pulled out the.
There we go.
And
So
one
basically
will
what
not
this guy's
interfere
asking
nor
us to
distract.
do is just literally collect these flowers for him because he doesn't have colour perception in his robotic eyes. So he needs to pull out the blue ones, essentially. And there we go. Those are those completed. So we just go and turn that in.
Initiating inquiring user progress.
So he gives
Have
us
all
some
the violet
pumpkin
weeds been
seeds and
removed?
pumpkin pieces.
Yes.
One
and
sees
100
that Sir
XP.
Madam has pulled out. Thank you for such kindness, friend.
And there we go.
I move.
Howdy.
So this guy's got a
Rumble with
quest,
some
but it's
deadites.
not implemented in the game just yet, so I'm going to ignore it. But presuming that it's been implemented and not changed, the next time this game is available to play, then grab that one. It's just literally asking us to go and kill some particular mob in the south of the... It's in Dusttide Forest where we spawn, so in this area here. That's where it's suggesting that we get those. So I'm going to ignore it for this now, just for the sake of not having clutter. So what I like to do next is come up here. Just take a shortcut through here.
What's up, partner?
Right, so
Looking
let's
for
grab
some
this
aid.
guy's quest.
I'm in bit of. See, I'm supposed. I've got a plan. I'll give you the recipe.
I'll do it.
Right, so this guy,
You're
he's
the real
basically
MVP.
given us the recipe for these counterfeit painkillers. So these items here, which are really good healing, healing item. So we can look to create that, but it does need a bit of extra work to get it. So don't assume that you can get it immediately. This is like something that you have to progress over time.
Good day.
So we'll get the quest from this guy.
What members of my past has a wealth of knowledge deep within me, and no, I ask you, craft this rune, scar, craft this rune, let me feel its energy, match. You unlock the door to my past.
Okay, so
Light of
basically what this guy's asking us to do is to create a scar rune. Runes are things that you can implant into your artifacts, and as a reward he will give us one of these. Okay, so we'll accept that quest. Now this
I appreciate
this
your
one is
help.
particularly
This rune might
awkward
be
to do,
key to remembering
because
my
if we press Y we can bring up the crafting menus,
You
okay,
will need to gather
and if we
powder,
come to
jewelry bone,
the mysticism tab here,
composite
this is what's needed. So
ceramics, and
we need a jewelry bone,
craft the
composite
star.
material, jewelry wood and ceramics. Now it's not the worst thing to get, but to create jewelry wood you need to go out chopping trees. To get composite material you need to go rummaging through bushes, foraging to get jute. Ceramics you need to be mining to be able to get fossils, and jewelry bone you need to be butchering to get large bones. Now a couple of these, like for instance this one, I mentioned that Big Mama gave those particular resources, and I suggested getting the bones as a reward because it can go towards this, but we can't complete Big Mama until we have done enough quests. So it's a case of picking and choosing which quests it is that we're going to do, because we can see here at the side we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We've got 7 quests that we can complete, and we only need 4 of them. So So these items here with the yellow borders, they're quest items. I'm just going to put them at the bottom just so they're out of the way. Okay, so this is a watermelon field. And you can stomp on the watermelons and you could get some stuff. But essentially what we're going to be asked to do in a second is to repair these pipes. So there's this pipe here. This pipe here. And then this pipe just here. So let's speak to this guy.
Hey there, you. I got a real mess on my hands.
Got a task for me.
Guess I'll make you useful for something.
Got a man.
Guess I'll make you useful.
Right, it's not letting me accept that for some reason, but basically what we do is this guy says, okay, yeah, go and do fix my pipes for me, and all you need to do is you need to come across to here and you'll turn the water off.
With each step,
You'll then need to come across to here, here and here where I mentioned to repair the pipes, but you need to get the copper pipe components in the first instance, and then once you completed repairing it, you need to come turn the water back on, go to him, and he will give you your reward. Now the copper pipes, these are a bit of a meme right now because they're really difficult to find. The way that you find them is by destroying containers around the village and around the world. Don't expect that you're going to be able to complete those quickly. It's just one of those things you're going to have to put, you know, in your back pocket, and when it happens, it happens.
Damn it, damn it, damn it.
So this quest here is you can control it better.
Sorry. Oh, hello there. Well, it's... Wait, no, oh, can you bring me?
I'll do it.
Right, so basically what she's saying is we need to go kill gnats and get a tracking device from them. So we'll come back to that one shortly. But first I just want to go and grab another quest. Because we can do these two quests together at the same time. So speak to Granny Hild.
What can I do?
She needs help. Yes, 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 yes. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. So basically she's asking for corn for her chickens. Now we need to just murder some of her chickens now. Because what we're looking for is chicken eggs. But we'll take some poultry legs in addition. I'm not going to aggro those rats right now. Actually, you know what? I'm going to aggro those rats. Get some chicken collateral damage. These are quite higher level. They're like level 3 and I'm only level 2, so... This might not be the best idea. And I've not played the Ranger before, so... Oh, heaven's sake. Do you know what? Sod it. I'm just going to focus on the quest. I was hoping for a little bit of bonus XP, but... I want to rush through this to respect your time more than anything else. But what we're aiming for currently, and again, all the quests, and I can't stress this enough, like, you don't have to hyper focus on doing the quests. You can just do them passively, and if you find that the resources are drying up, you can move on to do a different quest, and this quest will always be there. But what we're looking for right now is 10 eggs, 10 chicken eggs. So we can actually buy the chicken eggs from this lady, but they're 1.6 each, and I don't see the point in wasting 1.6 gold when you can literally kill the chickens and get the eggs for free. Okay. Ended up dealing with them rats anyway. Right, let's see how many eggs we've got. So we've got 7 eggs. We're almost there. Ha! That was kind of fluky. 3 eggs in 1 shot. Can't complain at that, can we? Okay, so that's that done. So there's all the quests from. Well, not quite all the quests. There's some down here. I'll go back to those shortly and show you those quests in a few minutes. I just want to kind of like don't want to overwhelm you with everything because there's a lot that's going on. You have to balance a lot of stuff that's going on. We can see here if we press J, we've already got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 ongoing quests right now. That could be like a little bit overwhelming. So let's just sit by the campfire for a minute, because the campfire, as with the campfires that we placed previously, gives us health and mana regen. There's actually another campfire here, which is a different type of campfire. That's the one that it won't heal you passively, it will just give you a buff with food, so I don't really see the benefit of it being there, quite frankly. I think people in town don't need to be sort of sat here for just brief periods of time. You got time to just sit and regen, I think. Okay. So let's move onwards. So I'm not necessarily doing this in an order which is the shortest distance. I'm doing this in an order which I feel is probably the easiest to achieve. So we will be doing a lot of back and forth with this.
Always moving.
Now this quest that we're aiming for just now is quite a longish. It's on the outskirts of town.
My slick knows no bounds.
So this guy here, Guru David.
Need help?
The talent renewal cube is a valuable tool.
Okay, so we get 150 XP for this, so we'll accept that.
You're a lifesaver, man. Those eggs better be fresh and
So there we go, 100 XP and a talent renewal cube, so all 3 of them.
Yes.
There we go, and a level.
Excellent, great job.
And what do? We always check just to see if they need any more. They do not. Now there's another quest that we can pick up while we're here. There he is.
My tread unflagging. Larry, need help? Here's the deal, man. I need you to bring me his vital. Meanwhile, I might be able to sort out the answer to your question. I do it. Blessings upon you, friend. May your God guide your steps. Don't forget my beads and my charisma. The job I do research.
Right, so this one, it says mana resin, but I think it needs more than that. Let me just hide all these for a second so we can see specifically. Yeah, magic weed. So this one needs magic weeds and mana resin, but in the summary for the quest, it only says 3 mana resin. This is a bug in the game that they really need to address, because there should be no reason for this to not have the same information as that. That's like 2 separate sources that it's drawing information from. But that's a side issue, which I'm sure they will deal with. But if in the game they haven't fixed it when this goes into early access, just use this little trick to see what the actual things are by hiding all of the quests prior to it. Right, so the quests, in fact, let me just hide all of these and then we can focus on the quests that we want. So we probably need, so we need this one. Not a problem. Feed the flock. And crafting proficiency. I think these are probably the only ones that we're going to actively do now. Yeah, so this one, the mana vial, that one's going to take a while. Scribe's dilemma. Yeah, we're not going to do that one for a while. That's the Scar rune. Nope, not a problem. Yep. Heart of the Woods. That one we don't really need to focus on anyway, and that's not something we can do immediately. And same for that one. So yeah, so these are the ones that we're going to deal with. And remember we got the counterfeit painkillers earlier to hand from one of the earlier quests. Now while I'm here, I'm just going to show you something just as a side. If we come south into this little village here. So when we get to level 5, we can come and talk to this Zara Thorn. She doesn't have a quest, but she has these abilities. Okay, so you can get like your universal abilities. I typically go for for mana boost, and then sprint. These are two really useful abilities. The others, I'm sure they have the uses. So yeah, so the location for that, just as a point of reference, is so you got your Big Mama there, all the way down here, and so on. And there's other NPCs in here. We can get another quest actually from one of the guys while we're here. Again, it's not something that we can really complete immediately. Just need to remember where this guy is. He's somewhere. Here we go. I think it's this one.
This is gonna be fun.
There we go. Yep. So
What can I do for you?
I've been nothing to...
basically, he's wanting us to cook him some
I'll do it.
crispy ribs. So this guy doesn't give us the recipe, but it's like this plus corn flour, not that one, like corn flour and salt, I think. So we'll do that with time, but we'll get that recipe later when I show you where we get that from in addition to other quests. So now let's go back.
Left foot, right
I'm just
foot,
going to level
repeat.
up my Q ability. So this is the bank. We can just come in here dead quick. And this guy has a quest. It's just a resource gathering quest.
Nevertheless, prove you aren't part of the heist. Bring the iron ingot. I'll do it.
So iron ingots and reinforced planks. So essentially that's gathering iron ore and crafting them into ingots and getting heartwood and crafting those into I forget the name of it. It's like polished wood or something. Treated wood. This is it. Yeah. So that's what that is. So we're going to cut through here, just onto this path up here. And I'll show you what you're looking for on the map. So you see this field where it's got these rows. This is what we're looking for. Now I'm weaving through this corn because I'll show you in a second what that means. The attack speed feels incredibly slow on this right now. It's really frustratingly slow. Okay, let's pick that up. Right, we didn't get one of the tracking devices, sadly. But let's continue to persevere.
This path leads to glory.
There we go. So I was weaving through the corn because when you crash into some plants, it just gives you corn occasionally. And we need one more corn, I believe it is. Yeah, one more corn to get. There we go. So there we go, that's that one done. Now, you can, if you want at this stage, take on the gnats. I hate gnats with a passion, quite frankly. I'd rather be in a group doing this or rather be higher level doing this, but it's up to you. But I'll show you what you need to do and what to expect. But I'm not going to complete this quest, I don't think. These stinging gnats are not so much a problem. It's the ones that spit at you that cause me issue. I don't like ranged. Oh crap. Yeah, you see? Yeah, I'm taking too much damage here from those. So this is, you see, this is why I say do this in a group. Or when you're a little bit higher. Yeah, I'm taking too much damage there. I'll die if I continue. Oh no, lagged. Right, they're reset anyway. Right, I'm not doing that right now. But basically they drop these tracking devices and you hand those in to that lady.
Moving on.
It's not the most difficult quest in the world. You just need to be like level appropriate. So she's the one that we hand the gnat problem back into. And let me just show you how to find the destination of the quest, because you can see there's no like question mark. We've completed this one, or we've completed this one, for example. You can tell that because they're green. But how do you know where they are? Like, I know because I've done it so many times that it's this person. But if you need to know, then you just literally press J, bring up the quest, click on it, journal, Granny Hill, Golden Field, near the chicken farm. Received. See, this used to be 10 bundles, but they've reduced it to 5, and they haven't updated the quest log, so ignore that. It is 5. So we can see on the map, we've got the chicken farm, Granny Hill, like all the NPCs you meet are logged. So you can see, okay, well, it's in Golden Field, so we know where it is. Scroll in, Granny Hill, chicken farm, so you know where to find the quest.
My chickens are clucking with anticipation.
There we go.
Yes.
Bless your heart. You don't have much. I hope.
There we go. So now that we're over here, we're going to pick up another few more quests. I think actually they might be up. Let me familiarise myself with the map. Oh no, wrong way. With this way. I turned myself around there by mistake. So there's 2 quests that we're looking for. So there's this lady, Naya Sundance. Let's have a chat with her.
Hey there, cowboy.
Because she has a quest.
I called you cowboy.
Looking for some aid.
You see, she's one of the NPCs that we need to help.
Want to get fully perfect. You can. I'll make sure your efforts are well rewarded. You're incredible.
Right. So basically. Sorry, the game keeps freezing. I don't know if I just if that recorded or not, but basically she needs hazelnuts, which you gather from bushes, and then she will ask you for transparent leaves, which you get from cutting down trees, essentially. Right, this one doesn't have anything in here to search, but I just find this hilarious. That I love. It's just little things like this which amuse me. Anyway, right, so we've got the one from here. We need to go and follow this road around. I'm really conscious that my health is quite low and I don't want to sort of misstep and find myself in a bunch of rats. Let's check this.
With each step, I rise.
Nothing in there. Oh, next one. Here's what we're looking for. Butch O'Hara.
You ain't lost, are you?
Right, so this guy's got a quest for us.
Learn about out here. Wolves, boars. Take down those animals. Wolves mostly.
I'll do it.
Gather animal fat and turn it into cosmetic fat at the crafting bench.
So this guy's wanting us to go and butcher animals and take the fat and turn it into cosmetic fat, give it to him, basically. So you need 3 animal fat, get 1 cosmetic fat. Now while we're here, let me just show you. So, crispy fried ribs. So this is the quest that we got earlier. If we bring up this. So you need 1 crispy fried rib and he gives you 150 XP. And it'll cost you 20 gold to get the recipe. I don't want to buy that right now, quite frankly, because I don't have a lot of cash. And it's always wise to be cautious with your money. Oh, thank you for the healing. Right, so let's move on and we'll get the other quests in the village. I'm just going to see if that watermelon farmer wants to give us his quest just yet.
And who find and don't dog.
There we go.
I'll do it. Finally.
Yeah, so okay, so what we just want to be doing, we turn off the water to begin with, and then we don't have any pipes just yet, so we can come back to this one. Let's just take a pit stop at the fire. Let's just eat some bread for speed. Okay, there we go. Where is the guy? There he is.
I don't even remember the last time I...
I'm feeling under the weather, Mike.
Right, okay. So that's 1 quest. We'll go through these in a minute.
Remember, you need leather.
Right, okay, so basically the first guy that we spoke to, he wants us to craft this, an immunostimulating implant, so he's given us the recipe. So that requires Blue Lotus and biocompatible material, so let's learn that recipe to begin with. So the Blue Lotus you get from collecting, from gathering up bushes. The biocompatible material is... there we go, yeah. So these are the xiphoid processes that you need. These are relatively difficult. Well, not difficult, they're just a bit tedious to get hold of because you have to go butcher turtles. And turtles kind of live... Sort of, there's a few that live in this area, just sort of north of Goldenfield Town. But there's a lot that live all the way up here. And that's like where you'll typically go to get them. But that's not until you're much later in level. So that particular quest, if you want to complete it as a matter of priority, then focus on doing the others and getting the xiphoid process from Big Mama. Now this one, I don't really understand too much why it's a launcher that it wants you to create, because that's only for the bomber.
Did Martha send another test target?
It would be nice if it was class specific that it did that. But basically we come into weaponsmithing for that, so you need iron ingot, jewelry wood, leather and amber. So what it's going to take to actually get all these is iron ingots. You need to go mining and get iron ore and craft that into an iron ingot, so you need 3 pieces of iron for that one. Jewelry wood, these are tree roots that you need to get to create those, so you got to go chop down trees. Leather, you need wolf skin to do that, so you need to be butchering wolves. Wolves are incredibly difficult. They're very, very strong. They probably contribute to at least 50% of the deaths in game, so very, very difficult to get hold of that, unless you buy it from I forget his name. O'Hare. What's his name? Butch O'Hara. That's it. So he sells currently in this test the leather, but it's like 15. I think it's 15 gold a piece. So it's really expensive, and you need 2 of them. So that would cost you 30 gold just to fulfill that. Amber. That is something that you get from chopping down trees. So it's quite an intensive quest, this one, but we have it, and over time you can finish it or focus on it, whichever works best for you. Let's see. So we've got the quest for Derek, we've got the quest for Ratchet. We'll come down here and get the quests from, there's like 2 guys down here.
I make my own destiny. Hey there, need help? Try and make yourself. I want you to head to Westwood Woods. It's legend has it. On my river runs flow there. Extract soft crystal from the veins. I'll do it. Remember, extract soft crystal from soft crystal veins and turn it into power.
Right, so this guy wants us to head over into like this area here, which is where the wolves live, to get soft crystals, which is a mining quest. But just to note, like, you will find a lot of the basic resources you need up here in Skylight Grasslands. I'd probably say, like, you want to be focusing on this area primarily anyway for everything, just to level stuff up.
Listen to my Alex sound like what you do. Ready to try the I remember. Look, it's a vegetation tree. Once you got 3 roots. No, Alex does, but I do it.
Yeah, so this guy wants us to get tree roots. Let me just compare my quest log to what we need. So Iron Vein, Ratchet, Direct, O'Hara, Naya. Right, I think it's just Percy Beamish that we are missing, and I'm just struggling to remember who that is. Ah, that guy there. No, we had him. So I'll go Ratchet. Butch, 1, 2, 3. Oh! He's the counterfeit painkiller, isn't he? Yeah, so yeah, we've got all these. So we can actually go and turn this one in already while we're here. So we've basically got all of the quests that Big Mama is suggesting that we do. We only need to do 4 of them, but we've got all 7 of them because they're all really useful quests to do. They give you experience in the game and give you rewards, XP. So it's definitely worth doing as many of those as you can tolerate. And then what I'd probably suggest is that you think about what quests you've completed, what quests that you haven't completed, and then use the selection process that Big Mama offers you for the different types of resources to fill the gaps. But as I say, the Xiphoid process is probably the more difficult one, so I'd aim for that one.
Howdy do, amigo.
So we can
I'm
hand
still
this
alive,
in.
so you're not too late with those pain.
There we go. So we've got these letters of thanks. So yeah, that's pretty much the foundations of playing Corepunk. What I'll do is I'll just quickly go through the quests with you, just so that we can remind ourselves. Oh, there is another quest actually you could probably aim to get. There's a farmhouse near here, and there's an Energizer robot. It's called like Energizer 21 or something. I'd go down there and grab it from him, like literally like here, thereabouts. Energizer 21. Get him, he asks for mana resin, you can get that from trees. Right, so mana vials, you just pick these up randomly from drops throughout the world. You can craft them from somewhere. I think it'll be under alchemy, but you'll need to get the recipe for that. Scribe's Dilemma. An uncommon immunostimulating implant. So the chances of you finding one are low, but you can craft them with Blue Lotus and biocompatible material. So this, you'd need this to go green, so it's just RNG basically. So you need Blue Lotus from farming the getting the bushes and such, like the biocompatible material that is in butchering. You need to get the xiphoid process, so that's why that's a bit of a pain in the backside to create. So Big Mama, just literally get 4 of the thank you notes, hand that in, and she'll give you another quest. Remember the Mystic. So this guy is the Scar Rune. So that is in Mysticism. So I've been through these with you before. Bones from butchering, fossils from mining, tree roots from forestry, and composite material from, I think it was jute. Yes, jute from foraging. Not a problem. You got to kill those gnats in the fields, which I struggled with, and collect the tracking devices. Just 5 of those. Heart of the Woods. You need to get Heartwood, so that would be coming north into Skylight Grasslands and just chopping down the trees. Are kind of like a brown tree with sort of like a light brown with a even lighter brown core. You'll recognize them when you start seeing them. High times, mana resin. You get mana resin from also chopping down trees. These are actually the magical trees. They're kind of glowing and like kind of yellow and very colourful trees. The Burning Hunger, crispy fried ribs. You just need to literally purchase the recipe from Butch O'Hara and then create with, I think it's corn flour, which you get from corn, salt, the ribs, and pumpkin seeds, I think it is. And you can literally just come across to this field here is a pumpkin field. You can just stomp pumpkins in the same way that we stomped on watermelon over here. Secure the assets, treated wood. You just need to get Heartwood, the same place as the, same as this, the Heart of the Woods. And also, it doesn't show you here, but you need iron as well, so you need to get mining iron ore. Again, all of that in Skylight Grasslands. Nutty flavour, just foraging for walnuts, no, hazelnuts, sorry. Grind those up. Again, Skylight Grasslands. That's north of Goldenfield Town. Butcher's Lesson. Animal fat, that's cosmetic fat. North in Skylight Grasslands, go find boar and butcher them, and you will get animal fat from them. No pressure. Fix the leaking pipes. So this one, you just literally, as you're walking around, you'll see crates to destroy, you'll see containers to search through. Just search through them all. Just as you pass them, just search, and then eventually you'll get 3 copper pipes. I think the drop rate is particularly low right now. They need to buff that because this is a yellow quest. This should be done relatively easy. It is a simple quest, but it is a very tedious quest, and I feel that it should be buffed, the drop rate of copper pipes, for people that are on the quest at least. Implant issues, craft an immunostimulating implant. So this one is, you need a blue lotus, which you can get from foraging plants. So you do that, you can get those in Skylight Grasslands. There's different types of bush that you can get those from. I think I'll probably need to put a image on the screen showing the different resources, what to look for, and what their output is, because you have different types of plants, you have different types of stuff. Your biocompatible material, xiphoid process, as we've already mentioned. Explosive engineering, this is your weaponsmithing, so you need your iron from mining, your ore, your jewelry wood from tree roots, leather from killing wolves, good luck with that, and amber from trees as well. Wisdom of the rocks, you need a powder filler, so that comes in here. So you just need soft crystal, grind it into powder filler. And wisdom within the woods, this is the final quest that we've picked up. Use tree roots to craft into jewelry wood, so that's pretty simple. Just tree roots, jewelry wood, find those up in Skylight Grasslands. So that's pretty much it. I'd say that if you go through that, you'll it's probably the most efficient way to level up is going through the process that I've been through, and then choosing what direction you want to go into. If you want to get more into wood cutting or mining, it depends really a lot on what route you want to do, what crafting you might want to do. This test I took the logging route, and I kind of found that was not overly useful, and I noticed that the mining and butchery routes were really effective in getting the resources to do the upgrades. These needed a lot of like metals to upgrade them, not this one in particular, but other upgrades did. So I'd probably, if I was to do this again, I would opt to be a miner and a butcher. Now, one thing to note when it comes to gathering is that you've got this, and this goes for these as well, but for gathering, I find this really useful. The efficiency, there's 2 metrics basically with your efficiency, so you can go between 0 and 100% proficiency with it, but also in addition to that you have your skill. So if you exclusively chop down trees, for example, you will gain a proficiency from 0 to 100%, and as we can see below, we have the different tiers, so 20, 40, 60, 80 and 100%. So once you get higher in proficiency, you will get more out of the resource. So by the time you get to 80%, you get 3 gathering attempts per tree. So when you initially go out, you'll chop a tree, you'll get a maximum of 1 resource. Get to 40%, you get a maximum of 2 resources, and when you get to 80%, you get a maximum of 3 resources. So all 4 of these, they need to add up to 100%. So if you've got 100% in this one, for example, and then you go and forage, it will reduce this one and increase this one, and you might not want that. So you can lock these, but it's up to you. But there's pros and cons of focusing on one resource over focusing on another. Now, if you get a resource out of a tree, for example, you get one item, you'll get some XP for it. So it'll be like 2 XP for a basic resource and 6 XP for a green resource, and I think it's like 9 XP for a blue resource, and a epic resource, a purple one, gets you end up with like over 100 XP for that, you see, basically. So you can get a lot of XP by leveling up one particular thing, but what you're doing is you're sacrificing the levels of these, so you're leaving these at newbie. What I would probably say is maybe consider getting all of these at least to craftsman, journeyman or craftsman. Craftsman's probably the best because it will give you access to a lot more, a wider range of resources that you'll need for your crafting. Once you've done those to like a basic level, then feel free to focus on one proficiency, and then you can lock it in. And what that'll mean is that it doesn't matter if you mine the other ones, because it won't detract from your main proficiency, if that makes sense. So of course it's up to you how you want to play the game. I can only tell you what happens, and you can decide what's best for you, basically. But yeah, hopefully that has been useful for you. That is the first 90 minutes of playing Corepunk and what to expect. So hopefully you find it useful. If you have, give me a thumbs up. Leave me a comment if you have any questions, and I'll try my best to answer those for you. And hopefully you'll have a nice fast start when the next playable version of the game is available.